I guess no one has received as much backlash from people and praise from critics during his entire career as the guy I'm going to talk about today. You probably have all seen Robert Pattinson as the new Batman already, and in that trailer, if you go down to the comment section, you can see two groups of people arguing. There is this one that thinks that Robert is the worst choice possible, and the other group that thinks he's a phenomenal actor. Make sure to hit the subscription and bell button because I'm going to tell you why I think Robert Pattinson is one of the most promising actors of the new generation and the best choice for this role. If by the end of the video you still disagree with me, I rest my case and surrender. Let's first start with a little bit of biography to get you to find out who this actor is. Robert Pattinson was born on the 13th of May of 1986 in London. His dad was a vintage car dealer and his mother was a booker at a modeling agency. So considering his mom's occupation, it was only normal for him to start his career as a model. But before anything, Robert discovered his love for music. He started learning how to play the guitar and piano at the young age of 4, and he continued his love for music with performing the acoustic guitar at open mic nights in pubs, but that didn't get him anywhere. As I mentioned before, his mom was in the modeling industry, so Robert decided to begin modeling at the age of 12, and soon he became very popular because of his looks. Back then, it was the time when that androgynous look was cool, but then soon he started looking more masculine and lost job opportunities, so he had to look for a new job. Robert's high school teacher had told him to not join the drama club because he was not suited for creative arts, but that didn't stop him, and at the age of 13, with his dad's perseverance, Pattinson joined the amateur theater club called the Barnes Theater Company, and 2 years after that, he got his first role as a Cuban dancer in Guys and Dolls. Later, he got his next role in the movie Our Town, and soon after, he was spotted by a talent agent, which led him to start pursuing his acting career more professionally. At the very beginning of his career, Robert didn't have much luck. He got cast in Ring of the Nibelungs in 2004 that only his die-hard fans remember, and also in Vanity Fair, but his scenes were cut from the second movie. What's worse is that no one had told him. The poor guy found out about it when he attended the screening of the movie. To make up for what had happened, the casting director Mary Selway let Robert audition for Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Pattinson got the role, and with that, people's heads started turning. He was called the British Star of Tomorrow and the next Jude Law, which is pretty well deserved considering his looks and the number of women who are also drooling all over him. The positive reviews were ongoing until he landed a rather strange role. Can you guys guess which role I'm talking about? Yup, Twilight's Edward Cullen in 2008. He was cast to play a vampire while he had no idea how to be one. At first, fans were outraged and were asking for people to sign the petition to remove Robert from the project, but in the end, he did play the role and he turned into a star overnight. Despite the fact that Robert confessed he went for this audition in sort of a I've got nothing to lose way, the movie turned into a blockbuster and then into a franchise. You might be thinking this was one of the best things that had ever happened in Pattinson's life, but he begs to differ. When he was asked if there was anything that he took from the set after the movie ended, as a reminder, he answered, "My dignity." So I guess it's pretty known to all fans and non-fans that no one hated Twilight more than Robert. To be perfectly honest, I'm not a fan either, so we're just gonna leave this commercial success right here because I'm trying to show what a great actor he is, and Twilight is not helping his reputation. Let's take Pattinson's dignity and go to the projects after this blockbuster. To get to the best part of Robert's CV, we need to go to 2014 when 2 of his movies premiered at that year's Cannes. One of the 2 was David Michôd's The Rover, where he played the role of a member of the criminal gang. Variety called Pattinson the film's greatest surprise with a convincing southern accent and called his performance a career-redefining one. From here on, Robert received nothing but praise for his roles. For his role in the 2016 The Lost City of Z, he was called one of the better actors working today. The role that Robert portrayed in 2017, Good Time, was a turning point in his career. It was described by Variety as Pattinson's career peak, and IndieWire called it his career best. David Rooney of The Hollywood Reporter compared him to Al Pacino in Dog Day Afternoon and called Robert's performance his most commanding performance to date. The proof of his perfect acting skill was the fact that he received his first Independent Spirit Award nomination for Best Male Lead. Since a lot of these movies I named are independent films, you may have not heard of them, so I decided to come a little bit closer to the present and talk about one of Pattinson's recent projects called The Lighthouse. You probably have heard of this black and white psychological horror starring William Dafoe and Robert Pattinson. I won't be saying much about the movie, but the reviews this piece of art received makes you go watch it right now. The Guardian called Robert's performance mesmeric and a sledgehammer punch, which just gets better and better, and Collider admitted that this guy is just topping himself all the time. Another quite famous project can be Netflix's The King, starring Timothée Chalamet and Robert, and even though so obviously Timothy is the star of the movie, the performance you will remember after watching the movie is the French prince with the long blonde hair and the thick accent, Robert. Looking at all of these movies, I don't think anyone would describe him as someone who does not know how to act. But that is not what Robert believes. In his interview with The Guardian, he said, "I don't really know how to act. I only know how to play scenes. Like Three Ways, I'm nervous on like every single movie." I guess the fact that he doesn't think he is that good is one of the reasons why he has stayed this grounded. Because keep in mind that this man has worked with Cronenberg, Herzog, the Safdie brothers, James Gray, and Claire Denis, all in the past 7 years. Coming from a commercial movie but then changing the path to work with some of the elite directors is not something that everyone can do. So when you think about it, the fact that he is the new Batman right now means something. It must mean that he has a vision for the character, and I can't wait to see his vision. As he admitted himself, Pattinson isn't great at being subtle. He always goes for characters that are the opposite of his real-life self. Characters that always make incomprehensible decisions. And according to that, I think he might surprise everyone. Oh, and before I forget, another thing that I admire about Robert is that he is very much aware of how much hate he is receiving for being selected as the new Batman, but he's not afraid of it. To him, there is no harsher critic of himself than he himself, so he doesn't really care much about other people. Maybe we should give him a chance then. So I've said all of this to tell you why I think Robert Pattinson is exactly the Batman we need today. Now it's your turn to prove me wrong and come up with all kinds of proof to show me that he is a terrible actor. Let's meet in the comments then, shall we? Oh, and also remember to like and share and become part of our Curious Sips family by subscribing to our channel. Until next time.